SCP-973, Smokey, you've already heard a lot about him. But have you ever encountered it? I mean, if you have, of course you wouldn't be alive right now and watching this. How do I know? Because I have escaped it. Yes, I escaped my death once. I know that's impossible, because anyone who has ever encountered SCP-973 hasn't gotten away alive. I did, because of my friends. So, me, Paul, and David, we were on a road trip on a nice, chilled weekend. Paul was driving, David was sitting beside him, and I was in the back seat. There's a breeze, music, and there are stars shining in the sky, and a soothing calmness all around. What more could you ask for? We often do this as there's not much crowd on the road at night. I was kind of falling asleep. So Paul told David, let's do something fun. Instead of waking me up, he pushed the accelerator. After some time, we were not driving, we were flying. And then he suddenly put the brake, and I woke up after falling from my seat. They both laughed like anything. Anyway, as I was settling down in my seat again, we heard a siren. It looked like a police car. Of course, it's because of Paul. He put us in this situation because he was speeding. But we decided not to stop and kept driving fast to escape it. Then, out of nowhere, the radio started, announcing, "Run, run." We panicked. We didn't understand what's happening, but we were sure we were in some big trouble. So we kept driving fast. But the police car's speeding up too. And in no time it caught us, and it was driving right behind us. How's that even possible? Anyway, we decided to stop finally, as there was no other way. The police car stopped too, and a bald man came out in a state trooper uniform, wearing sunglasses in the night. He had a weird appearance. He was slightly overweight and had a handlebar mustache. Paul and David came out to settle the matter when I was still inside the car. They apologized for driving so fast. Meanwhile, the man took off his sunglasses. His eyes were burning bright red. I hadn't seen anything like that before. I couldn't understand. Is this a dream, or is this really happening? But before I could conclude anything, he came near Paul and tore his body apart. I froze right there. What just happened? Is Paul dead? Then he ran after David. I gathered some courage and ran away from there. I know I felt like a coward, but I didn't know what else to do at that time. Later that day, police found our broken car and 2 mutilated bodies near it. I was devastated seeing the condition my friends' bodies were found. I couldn't even look at it. The police inquired what happened. I gave them a detailed description of everything. After noting down each detail very carefully, they told me we had encountered one of the deadliest creatures. His name is Smokey, also known as SCP-973-2. He's a Caucasian male in his late 40s, and SCP-973-1 is his police cruiser, resembling those used by state troopers in the early 1970s. The vehicle appears to be in an advanced state of disrepair. Eyewitness accounts have consistently mentioned large dents in the doors and hood, a heavily cracked windshield, heavy rusting, and a loose rear bumper secured with duct tape. Smokey will manifest only at night when another vehicle enters the designated territory and is believed to be triggered if the target vehicle accelerates over a certain speed limit. This limit varies, with the average being in the area of 88.5 kilometers per hour, but it can range anywhere between 53.3 kilometers per hour and 112.7 kilometers per hour. However, no predictable pattern or connection is found yet between these speed limits. When this limit is broken, SCP-973 will appear approximately 0.4 kilometers behind the target vehicle and will chase down the target at high speed with the siren and flashers on. And that's not it. One looping message also would start playing on the target's radio, consisting of the phrase, "Run." If this happens, the chances are very less that the target will flee, because Smokey knows how to catch its victims well. So far, the remains of 34 individuals and 19 vehicles have been found within 6.4 kilometers of the affected roadway. The range of damage done to bodies is unimaginable, even to the point that visual identification is impossible. 5 survivors are still within the SCP Foundation custody, all suffering from various degrees of mental trauma. The recovered vehicles showcase heavy impact damage from environmental and inflicted and severe burn damage to the interior. When SCP-973 came to light for the first time, SCP Foundation did try to stop this creature from causing all this damage. For example, in one instance, the roadway affected by SCP-973 were destroyed in a hope that the killings would stop. However, it came to notice later on that Smokey was relocating itself to a new location, a new roadway. The roadways were destroyed several times, however the result is the same each single time. SCP-973 just changes its location. Attempts to capture and contain SCP-973 have also been tried and failed, resulting in the death of 9 agents. However, SCP-973 did receive some severe wounds due to this operation, but it's not incapacitated, reappearing 9 days later on the roads again. This proves that SCP-973's nature prevents him from full containment within the Foundation. Hence, they came up with the idea of at least securing the area where he usually manifests, the 60-kilometer stretch of U.S. route on which he's known to manifest is to be under satellite surveillance at all times. Any vehicles attempting to travel the designated section of highway between 10 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. are to be diverted to some other route by Foundation personnel. Trespassers are to be forcibly arrested and detained if the need arises. It's been also learned that SCP-973's area of effect seems to be expanding, as does the window of time that manifestations occur. Security protocols have been adapted to this.